Hi everyone, and welcome to my Project Life Catch-up Challenge video number 1. If you are not familiar with the details of this challenge, you can find them all in the description box below. This first video is one I actually recorded a while ago. I just haven't had a chance to share it with all of you, so I hope you enjoy it, and please do play along and be sure to tag me if you do. Hi there, this is Crystal, and today I have week 33 in my Project Life album for 2018. As you can see, I've already gotten started a bit. I've got my photos printed and in the place I think I'm probably going to keep them. I've also pulled out some cards. I started with the September kit from Citrus Twist Kits, the Pocket Life kit, but I wasn't able to really find what I wanted in that kit. So I dipped back into my Citrus Twist stash and I pulled out a couple cards that I thought would work a little bit better for the photos that I have for this week. So I'm not sure what kits these are from. I just know that they're from this year, since March, since that's when I started subscribing. But I think they're probably all from different kits. Once I'm done with a kit, or once I've mostly finished with a kit, I just put all of the Citrus Twist stuff together in a little bin, and that's what I pulled from. But for embellishments, I do have things kind of sorted. So I have a few things from the September kit that I think I want to use, including the stamp and the cut apart label sheet. And then also the other things that I purchased in September. This is from the embellishment kit, and this was just an extra in the shop from a previous kit, I think from maybe last year. And then from last month's kit, from the August kit, I pulled out these things. So I have the Traveler's Notebook stamp, the printable cut-apart sheet, the fabric labels, and the chipboard. And there were some things on there I thought might work with this week's spread, so I pulled those out as well, and that's what I'm going to start with, and we'll see where it goes from there. So I'm going to put you on fast forward and get started. So I'm going to start with this middle photo. I know that I need to trim it down for it to fit on this card, so I'm going to do that, and then I decide that I want to cut out that little arrow that's part of the card. So I grab my cutting mat and my X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to cut just down to the point so that that little arrow will lift up and I can slide my photo underneath it. It just makes the photo look like it's more a part of the card, and I like the way that looks. So I'm just going to adhere the photo down now, and then I put everything away and started to trim out this photo, and then I realized I could do the same thing with this card with the bottom of the heart that's printed on this journaling card. So I'm going to grab my mat again and my knife and cut the bottom of this heart so that I can do the same thing, just slide the photo under that heart. So then that's two places on the spread that I've done this, and it just makes it a bit more cohesive as a whole spread. So then I'm just going to adhere the photo down to this card, and then I'll be able to finish trimming up my photos and then start going through the embellishments that I have pulled out. So I'm going to start with these epoxy stickers. There are 4 black phrase stickers on this sheet, and I decided to use those. There's quite a bit of black in my spread already. I have a black and white photo. I'm wearing a black sweater in one of the photos. So I thought an addition of some black that was purposeful would kind of bring all that black together. So I thought I would use all 4 of them, but I end up only using 3. There were really just 3 places where I could make them work. So that's what I'm going to stick with. So I have those 3 down, and that's pretty much where they're going to stay. I'm just going to add some labels for journaling. These are from the cut apart sheet that comes with the kit. I'm going to cut those out, but I don't make you watch that whole thing. And just place those down in a few places where I think I might want to add some journaling or where I might need a label. And then I'm going to move on to another set of embellishments. So So I'm going to grab the printables that I have from last month's kit, and I'm looking for more labels. I know I have more journaling to add, so I'm just going through and looking for some labels that are in the color scheme that I have so far, which is basically that light blue, red, black, and white. So I'm going to just flip through here and see what I can find that might work for this spread. I did find one label that I think I might use, but it doesn't end up staying on the spread. And then I also find this little tab that says eat, and it seemed pretty perfect for that picture of tacos, so I set it there. I'm also going to go through these fabric labels from last month's kit, and I'm going to pull out the one that says this moment, and I think I want to use it on this bottom photo, but it actually doesn't end up staying there either. So now I'm going to look through the chipboard that I had pulled out, and there is another black piece on this that I think will work well somewhere on the spread. So I'm going to set it down and pick it up, and it will eventually make it onto the spread, but not in the place where I had it originally. It does end up right there on the title card. And then finally I'm going to look through this, this bunch of ephemera that I picked up from the shop. Like I said, I'm not sure when it's from. It's from before I started subscribing to Citrus Twist, so it's from probably sometime last year. And there are quite a few things in this this bunch of ephemera that will work with the color scheme that I have and with the photos and the stories that I have to tell. So I grabbed out that little house and added it to a picture of my dog Abby. She's waiting for her daddy to come home from work, so I thought that would work well there. And then I also grabbed a little label that says worry less, smile more, and I put that on the picture of the ice cream that I have. And then there's also this little label that has quote marks on it, and I set it aside. I think I might use it. It does actually end up on the spread, so I do end up using it on that bottom photo and replace that label that is right there currently. And then I just pull out some small things, some little flowers and stars that are in the colors that I'm using this week, just to see if I want to spread those around a little bit. So I've pretty much finished going through this. I'm just going to set the rest of it aside and move on to some of the other embellishments. So here's that Maggie Holmes sticker pack, and I haven't used it yet, so I'm just going to open it up, and I think there are a few things that I might like to use. Those black word stickers on the front, they're clear stickers with black words. Those are just beautiful, so I think I want to use at least one of those on this spread. There's one that says dreaming that works just perfectly with the picture of my dog Abby curled up in a little ball sleeping. So I'm going to remove that in this moment, or this moment tag, and add the little dreaming word to the bottom. And then I'm going to add one of these heart stickers as well to that card, and I choose a gold one. And I'm just going to add a little gold staple to that, and that's that card pretty much done. So now I'm moving on to this this photo right next to it, and trying to work out how this label and that black epoxy sticker can both work on this card, and to see if there's anything else on the sticker sheet that might work as well. I don't end up finding anything on the sticker sheet, so I'm going to look through some of the rest of the embellishments that I had pulled out to see if there's anything there that might work. But I think I've said it before, those gold stickers are gorgeous. I just don't know how I'm going to incorporate them onto my Project Life layouts. I don't usually include titles like that, things that are that big, on my 3x4 cards, and since I don't use any 4x6 cards, they just feel too big to add to my pages. But I think they're gorgeous, so I'm definitely going to use them somehow, just maybe not in Project Life. So in the meantime, I adhered that tag to the ice cream photo and did a little bit of journaling just directly onto the photo below where I attached the tag. And now I am working on the photo next to it. So I adhered that tag and the little house ephemera and the black epoxy sticker. And I like that little cluster. I like how it's looking, so I just added a couple lines of journaling, and I'm going to call that one done as well. So I'm still thinking about this tag that I pulled out to add to this taco picture. I really like how well it matches the card, but then I remembered that I had this stamp from Ink Road Stamps that says I need a taco, and I thought that would be perfect to add to this photo. So I definitely want to include that, and there is some white space at the top where it will fit just about perfectly. So I grab my stamp block and an eraser. Since this is the first time I'm using this stamp, I wanted to make sure that I primed the stamp just a little bit to make sure it gave me a clean impression. And I did grab my StazOn ink since this is a photo and I was worried about it smearing or not drying. But that StazOn ink pad is super dry. I really need to re-ink it. I even have the re-inker, I just haven't done it yet. So I didn't get a great impression, but that is not the stamp's fault. That is definitely my ink pad's fault. And it's fine. It doesn't bother me for it to be a little bit distressed looking. But once I had that stamp on there, that little tag just didn't fit. So I ended up taking it off, and I will use that in some future spread. So I decided that I want to do just a little bit of journaling on this selfie that I took. So I grabbed the red label that I had planned to use on the title card, mostly because I felt like it needed some red on that side of the spread, and since I had a blue shirt on, I knew red would stand out better on the photo. So I added that and the black epoxy sticker, and then just a couple lines of journaling, and that's it for that card as well. So for this photo of our Thursday night dinner, I am using one of the labels from the cut apart sheet from last month, and that's all I'm going to do to that card, just a couple lines of journaling on that label, and I ran it off the edge just like I did on the opposite side with the red label, which I feel like just gives it some continuity across the spread. So now I'm finally going to go back to this label with the quote marks, and I decide that I don't really have a quote to share and the quote marks don't really make sense, so maybe I'll just cover them up. So I use the black enamel sticker to cover the top ones, and then I'm going to play with some of these smaller ephemera pieces to cover the bottom ones. I eventually go with the blue star, and this is actually a photo of my band performing at a local restaurant and bar here in town. So it was our first actual performance, full set performance out in town, so I just wanted to commemorate that in my Project Life spread, and I just wrote a few lines about where we were and what we were doing, and the spread is getting close to done now. I still have to work on my title card, and I feel like maybe adding some more embellishment, but I'm going to jump ahead and try and find some alpha stickers to work on this card. So I just went to my stash and pulled out a couple of options. One are these gold thickers. They're foam thickers. They're very small font, but I didn't really have any other gold on my spread except for a couple staples. So I decided to use these black thickers, and these are super, super old. I think they were from a Pebbles collection, something like Family Tree, something like that. I've had them for years. Like I would say maybe 2013 is when I got them. And I have several sets. I'm down to my last two, I think. But I did have enough to spell out week, and I do still like the font. They're cards, they're kind of like a corrugated cardstock or cardboard. They're not really thick like cardboard, but I would say maybe corrugated cardstock thickers. So they have some texture to them, which I really like. So I added week, and it hangs off the edge of the card just slightly, but that doesn't bother me. I'll just trim off the edges a little bit. And then the week number, and then I'm going to add that chipboard piece right between them. If I can get it straight. There we go. And then I'll just trim off the little edges. And I'll use my date stamp to stamp the dates for this week on those stripes, the white and blue stripes on the card. And I think that's all I'm going to end up doing to this card as well. So not overly embellished, keeping it somewhat simple this week. I think I maybe considered adding one of those red die cuts just to add some red to the title card, but I don't end up doing so. Yeah, I think this little flower might work, but it just looks out of place, so I'm going to end up taking it off. You can see me tapping my fingers, wondering if I should add some more embellishments to the spread, looking through what's still out on my desk to see if anything will work. Oh, and I do end up adding some more gold across the spread, so maybe those gold thickers would have worked after all, but I really like the way the black ones look, so I'm not upset about that. But that one little gold heart at the bottom was kind of standing out to me, and it felt lonely. So I just spread them around a few other cards on the spread to make it, I guess, make more sense. And that is going to do it for the spread. So here are some close-up photos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching my process, and if you did, please do give us a thumbs up. It means so much to me to know that you enjoyed this video. And I will see you all back here very soon. Take care.